I think people are as well. And so here they have lost the balance between personal responsibility and systemic accountability. We can have both. It's not the extreme of one or the other, or the lack of one or the other. So, if you ain't doing your homework, and if you're not studying, and if you or your family haven't put in the effort to make sure you can read even before you recognize letters and numbers before you get to kindergarten, don't be surprised by the fact that you're struggling when you get to school, right? As one of my professors said, like, don't be surprised by the grades you got for the work that you didn't put in, okay? And so that personal responsibility is important. Are there systemic issues? Yes, there are both. How do we navigate the balance between the two? But here's what I would like to see. I would like to see people who are struggling and the systems that are around them to focus on, assume that your outcome absolutely depends on you. Okay, so a little bit about my background, for example, and I'm not saying that my background should be a test case for everyone, but we know people who have started from nothing, right?
You're from a small town. You were born in a small town in Mississippi.
Small town. So Mound Bayou, Mississippi, a city that was started by enslaved people. It's a freedman town. Lived in Shelby, Mississippi, which was north of Mound Bayou. We lived in the middle of a cotton field, literally, on land we used to own, but do not anymore. It was a 2-stoplight town. One of those stoplights now had a bird nest in it, so it's a stop sign, and courtesy. Never owned a car in Mississippi. We had a 4-room, 10-roof shack. We did not have indoor water and no indoor plumbing. My grandmother was very proud of our $100 outhouse in the backyard. I grew up poor. Couldn't afford the O and the R, right? Poor. Borrowing food, re-wearing clothes, wearing shoes till they wore out. But my grandmother told me and my sister this: education is the way out. Now, I don't know if she knew all of what that meant. I don't think she finished high school. She could read her TV guide, right, to see what time Falcon Crest and Dallas came on. Okay. But we took that seriously. And so doing well in school, being literate was important to me. In the summer, since I ain't have nothing else to do unless I was going to summer school, I read the dictionary. I read the Encyclopedia Britannica that we had. It opened up my understanding of the world.
You saying that reminds me of when I was single digits. My father died when I was 7 years old. So it was me, my sister, my mother. And I can remember being a kid. I had in my room, we had the World Book Encyclopedia set, we had the dictionary, and I also had a thesaurus.
Okay.
So when I would go look up a word in the dictionary, I would go to the thesaurus and look up to learn a synonym on my own.
Yes.
And to your point, you telling that, and I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, please, come on. Go.
No, because again, I read about your background. You come from this small town in Mississippi. You have a master's degree from I don't remember the school.
University of Texas.
Yeah. University of Texas. So I did my homework.
Good job.
That said, that's an excellent place to start to talk about education.
Yeah.
Because specifically in Chicago, CPS, their performance is abysmal. And they're trying to right now borrow $529 million to fill their budget gap to pay teachers. Their goal is to have Chicago public city school teachers have the highest average salary in the nation. And you have 150 schools in CPS that are less than 50%.
Oh, that's an odd goal.
Exactly. So what is your theory, what is your ideology about the importance of education? Obviously, you've had that in your personal life, having matriculated through school and having your master's degree. What is Dr. Pamela Denise Long going to advocate for in terms of education, specifically for Illinois, but what's your ideology about how America should approach education nationwide?
Yeah.